because I sure am. I have Marina Worre. She is a powerhouse entrepreneur. Her story actually is pretty amazing. She comes from a whole different country, very much has created her own badassery, CEO of multiple companies. We're going to be focusing today on entrepreneurship, and I want to hear about a few of her most recent adventures. But if you are into any type of network marketing, building a team, building an organization, she is in it every single day, teaches that to people all across the world. So Marina, thank you for being here.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Krista. It's my great honor and pleasure.
Ooh, I'm so excited. So talk to us. So, network marketing, MLM. I know I'm with EXP, and I know that you and your husband teach people how to, do network marketing and build massive organizations. You guys have both done it yourselves. I'd like to hear a lot about that because I think that can probably best serve our audience. And then selfishly, I do want to hear about your amazing studio that you've built, and the reason why you did that.
Well, I started my entrepreneurial journey when I was just 18 years old. I have a banking degree, so I went to college, and at the same time, I realized, like, you know what, I wanna start my own business, and I'm actually super happy about it because I never looked back. And pretty quickly, I realized that I'm unemployable. So being my own boss was somewhere in my blood. So even though I have the banking degree, I never worked a single day in a bank, and I'm actually super proud of that. So being an entrepreneur since the early age was a fun and exciting opportunity. I joined my first network marketing company when I was 21 years old. And you know what was interesting at that time is for me to realize the difference of a model, because oftentimes people kind of like poo-pooing a little bit on network marketing because they don't understand, right? It's like, oh, it's a scam, it's a this, it's a that, and not everybody gonna succeed in this. Not necessarily realizing that network marketing is an entrepreneurial venture. It just utilizes slightly different marketing model. That's it. The biggest difference, there are actually a couple big differences, but one of them is because we're utilizing the word of mouth advertising instead of having huge marketing budgets like most companies do, spending on billboards and ads and all that exciting stuff that does not necessarily work. And the biggest thing is that we have leverage inside of our business model when you build a team and you increase the productivity on the team, and that's how you make a little bit of the effort of a lot of people, right? So that creates a time freedom. That's how you can create financial freedom, because you can only, as an individual, work so many hours. But the biggest difference for me happened when I joined network marketing for the first time, was being an entrepreneur. So first of all, I caught the vision immediately. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. And now, instead of me just busting my ass by myself or with my couple people in my store, I can have a team of people that are working while I'm sleeping, that are speaking the languages that I don't speak, that are building in the countries that I don't live. I was like, sign me up. This is so much fun. But the biggest exciting part for me was to see the quality of people, the vision, the excitement, the purpose, and all this different stuff. Because when you're an entrepreneur, a lot of people don't necessarily realize that. And my business at that time was retail store. I opened a store for future moms or existing moms, so they can buy anything they need while they're pregnant, but also everything for kids, basically from 0 to 14 years old. Toys, clothes, food, anything you can possibly imagine. So, and as an entrepreneur, people don't often understand that when you have a vision, when you have a passion, you are so far beyond of that passion that what you're doing, right? Because I wanted to help future moms. That was my passion. At the same time, of course, make a little bit of money so I can support my own family. But as an entrepreneur, I was not just the person who was following the passion helping moms. I was the salesperson. I was my marketing person. I was my legal advice. I was my accountant. I was my cleaning lady when it was necessary. I was all of those different, wearing all these different hats, right? So while it sounds super sexy at the party, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm a business owner. Look at me, how cool I am. At the same time, we often don't realize that it's hard. I mean, being in business, being an entrepreneur by yourself, solopreneur, it's a really tough gig. So going into network marketing, I realized that, wow, you have a support here, people helping you, people actually want to help you. They want to teach you their best secrets and best practices. Because guess what? When I was an entrepreneur in my store business, nobody wanted to teach me their best secrets.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wanted to share with me those practices. None of those things, because guess what? Me being more successful in that particular niche, I was taking somebody else's customers. So I was their competition. So my victory was their loss. And they would do everything for me to lose, and definitely not for me to succeed. Getting into network marketing made me understand that there is a whole different level of the entrepreneurship, where you can be supported, when you can be celebrated, when you actually have somebody as a company doing a heavy lifting, when I don't have to be accountant, I don't have to be legal, I don't have to deal with shipping and commissions and buying stuff and developing the products and doing all these things. So to me, entrepreneurship is absolutely the best way to go. And network marketing is the better way inside of any entrepreneurial model.
Well, and you've definitely done it so well. I mean, it's just amazing what you have created in the network marketing space. I know that, could tell me a little bit, if you can, about like what your advice is to people. So if somebody was to come to you and they're like, hey, I'm new and I'm starting this network marketing, like for example, I'm with EXP, and so I'm building my EXP organization. I've got around 850 agents across the country, but it's not an easy thing. I know recently some of my my partner Jesse and one of my people that are in my organization and went to your home, and they were like, you guys taught all about network marketing, and they were just saying how amazing that it was. And there was a girl there that was making like several $1 million a month, and I was like, what does she sell? And they're all, oh, she sells like lifestyle, beauty type of things. I'm like, she's making several multi-million-dollar a month selling like beauty products. It's amazing the amount, like there's so much potential in doing it,
Yeah, it's one of the things, like I said, because of the leverage that we have, you don't have to do all the work yourself, because we only have 24 hours in a day. Okay. So I don't care how hard you're going to work. You're still going to have 24 hours in a day. And you still, as an entrepreneur, in a basic business model, you're only going to get on the effort of your own on your own efforts. Inside of network marketing, we're building the teams, we're building the network. We as leaders improve the productivity of that network. We're helping these people duplicate. We're helping our team members to grow the organization much higher. So again, we're not forcing one person to do a lot. We're encouraging and empowering and educating a lot of people to do a little. And that's what it creates, that leverage, and that's what creates the opportunity for scale. So that's what network marketing is. But for somebody who is new coming in, first of all, I encourage everybody, and I have a conversation, and I've been outside of actively building for quite some time. Eric and I both resigned from actively building in the field, gosh, I think in 2010. But since then, we've been what I consider ourselves the upline for the entire profession. So when somebody comes in, first of all, I want to understand their hopes and dreams. I want to understand their purpose of coming into this profession, and also set up the proper expectation. Because when we say, I think one of the challenges that we have as a profession, why people do not necessarily like it as much or respect it as much as we want them to, because we oftentimes sell it. We overpromise. We say, it's like, oh my gosh, the product's going to sell itself, or you don't have to do anything. You don't have to learn anything. You're going to be rich tomorrow. All this stuff that does not really, is not possible, and it doesn't make sense. And it also doesn't help with the credibility, because when you hear anything that is too good to be true, then it just like, nah, that's probably not realistic because it's too good to be true. Network marketing is not anything different than as a basic business, right? So the business basic concepts, mindsets that are applicable to any other business opportunity are applicable to network marketing. We're not growing magic beans here. Nobody gonna get rich tomorrow, right? It's just not possible.
It's
So
work. It's work. I think everybody wants everything so quickly, and especially now
exactly.
with we
But
have Twitter and all these things. Everybody wants immediate gratification, and there a lot of people promising it, but we all know the truth. It doesn't exist.
right. So, first of all, I think it's important to have an honest conversation and tell our prospects or future distributors, like, hey, listen, this is business, right? It's going to take hard work. It's going to take time. It's going to take some investment in yourself, into your education, because it's a new set of skills that you more not, probably don't have. It also going to take a different mindset, because majority of the people coming into network marketing, they're employee mentality people. And network marketing is a business opportunity, right? So we need to become entrepreneurs the way we think when we come into network marketing. So what is the key difference between employee mindset and entrepreneurial mindset is employees work, they trade their time for money, right? So if somebody comes into network marketing and they work for a week or two and they don't get their paycheck, they're like, well, this thing doesn't work. But that's not how entrepreneurs think. Entrepreneurs are willing to take risks. Entrepreneurs are willing to invest time. They understand that we need to put a lot of work ahead of time. We need to invest and build that solid foundation. We need to plant those seeds before we can harvest the fruit. But that's not how the employees think. So first of all, it's the biggest mindset shift that needs to happen with the person coming into this business. So that's what I would spend a lot of time. I would set the proper expectation to help people understand that, hey, you're not going to be rich tomorrow. And guess what? As much as I love the events and the camaraderie and all this exciting stuff that is happening in conventions and around the different events, but it's a solo journey. It's really you are by yourself picking up the phone. You are by yourself recruiting somebody. You don't have the whole kumbaya support system recruiting one person, right? You have to overcome your own fears and stretch yourself to, first of all, build a bigger belief and push yourself outside of the comfort zone. So all of those things are pretty solo journey. Yes, you're going to have hopefully good upline who are going to help you and guide you in the process. And honestly, sometimes I believe that good upline is not necessarily good. Yes, it might be good at the beginning because they at least gonna help you get acclimated and get you started. But oftentimes what I've seen happen, and it's really good upline, kills somebody else's ambition, kills somebody else's need to become a leader, to grow, and to become who they were meant to be. Because if you have a super amazing and helpful, strong upline or the sponsor, and they do everything for you, you don't have to become much, right? You're just kind of like, I'm plugging in your system and off we go. So you don't have to, stretch and be something bigger. So all of those things are helpful, I think, to get the person started and understand. In our job primarily, once somebody already signed up, our job primarily is to help them become independent from us as quickly as possible. Because even though
That's
I'm not
really good advice.
because even though I'm not building in the field right now, but I do run all of our companies, and I do not want to be in business of babysitting adults. That's the most frustrating job on the planet Earth, especially for me. So I don't want to be babysitting adults. So when you are a leader of your team, oftentimes that's exactly what we do, right? So we're going to continue to babysit them until we teach them how to become independent. It's almost like parenting, right? We are like parents to our kids, and your downline are your kids. And sometimes you have kids who are like, you know what? I got it, mom. Let me run. And sometimes it's like, why do I have to make my bed? Why do I have to eat those damn vegetables? So sometimes we need to also understand the different dynamics, the different the characters that we have, different qualities and different ambitions that people have, all these different dynamics. But helping people to become independent from us as quickly as possible, that's where the business of network marketing lives. Everything else is a job. Selling your products one-to-one is a job. So you are in XP, you are a realtor, so I'm assuming you showing a home or you selling the piece of real estate to one person or multiple clients. It's you doing a job. You building a team of realtors, you building a team of people selling multiple homes, multiple apartments everywhere around the globe or in the United States or whatever you guys are. That's where the business comes into play, and you as a leader helping these people understand and become better and better how they convert, how they sell, how they bring the value to other human being. That's where the business model lives and the freedom lives.
Yeah. It's so true. I mean, because there's going to come a time and a place where when you're working, trading time for money, there's going to come a time where you just are tired and you don't want to do it anymore, right? No matter how successful you are. So when you can leverage other people, it's like, I remember when people talk about, why do brokers have brokerages? Well, because they know that having 100 agents selling 100 homes is a lot more reliable or than one agent selling 100 homes, right? One agent selling 100 homes a year happens like 1% of the time, but 100 people selling one home a year, so it does make a lot of sense. So I like that. And it's actually surprising what your advice was, but it makes sense. Your first job is to get them to be successful on their own and not to need you. And you're saying that the upline isn't necessarily that important. It's more important about the individual. And I think that's just like with network marketing and entrepreneurship and business in general, why most people, that very few are successful in not just in network marketing, but in any business, because most people are not willing to give it the time that it takes, the resources of money, of energy, of time, of everything, and they just want things to happen so quickly. So now I'm totally taking an 86-degree selfish turn here. I know that you built the largest studio in the world, and by the way, she talks about, we were talking for a few minutes before we hit record, and she was saying how when people actually see this thing, they're just like, they go from, oh, that's cool, to like, oh my gosh, right? I can tell how freaking amazing it is just from the videos to our, I'm like obsessed with it. I'm actually going there next month to see Funnel Hacking Live in person. I like literally am visualizing myself being there because it just looks so amazing. So first of all, tell us about the studio. Where is it? Tell us the whole reason why you built it to solve a problem when COVID hit. So I kind of want to hear about that because that's a whole entrepreneurial story in itself.
Yeah, so studio, what I was telling you before, people all the customers that come to our studio, they go through like 3 different stages, right? The first time when they see the website, I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. Then we do the virtual tour because the studio is located in Vegas. So if somebody is not in Vegas and they want to see it, so we do like a virtual tour. We show them around and it's like, oh, that's pretty awesome. And then everybody, once they walk into the studio, into actual physical place, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is a whole different level than I expected it to be. So these 3 stages are, they never cease to amaze me, and they pretty much never change. Every single time it's the same thing. And it's just like so fun to see, because like I've seen those reactions so many times, and seeing the first time person walking in is like, whoa, it's a whole different thing. So the studio actually, like you said, ended up being a solution to a problem, because one of my biggest strengths, like we talk about the problem solving, right? So I think that I'm a pretty good problem solver. It's probably one of my biggest strengths. And actually, I'm changing the whole name for it. Not so much of a problem solver, so I'm not necessarily attracting problem. I'm solution creator. I'm solution creator.
I like that.
So I'm solution creator, and the studio was a solution to COVID, because the way we do business inside of Network Marketing Pro, the company that my husband and I have, is we host events once a year. We host a big GoPro Recruiting Mastery event that is open to everybody in the profession, that is teaching about basic principles, skills, and the mindset necessary to be successful in network marketing. So we host this event for now 14 years. We're going to have a 14th event this December. And what was that, like 2019? In December, we had our GoPro event. We pre-sold 7,000 tickets for the next year. And we were thinking, obviously, to continue to sell more and more tickets by the time the GoPro hit. So we're talking about maybe 30,000 people or so would be coming to the event. So that's the thing, right? That's
amazing just in itself, by the way. Like, wow.
So that's how we were doing things. And in February, when COVID hit, and March, when everything got shut down, we're just like, okay, let's see what happens, right? And a lot of people were just doing this, right? Crossing their fingers, hoping for the best, and watching what's going to happen. So we're watching for a month or two and seeing what's going to happen. It's like, oh, it's going to be over like next week. Oh, it's going to be over like in 2 weeks from now. And then everybody realized like, no, it's not. It's not going to be over. And midsummer, we realized that there is no way we're going to host a big event. There is no way. with where everything is going. And even if they open up the ability for people to gather, it's still going to be very, very limited. So let alone 7,000, let alone 30,000, we're not going to be able to fit 7,000 that we already sold tickets to. So we started looking for different solutions and kicking the can down the road and pushing it to next year or something like that was not necessarily something that we were excited about. And what ended up happening is Tony Robbins, who is a friend of ours, Tony used one of our also common friend studio, and he built his own. He put a bunch of projection screens, and he hosted his event in that studio that he created. So when we saw it, I was like, Tony, can we rent it? Can we rent it from you and host our event? And Tony's like, yeah, no offense, guys. I'm not going to rent it to anybody. It's going to be my secret weapon. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to allow anybody. I was like, all right, I guess that option goes away. So my husband and I, we're probably the craziest entrepreneurs that I've ever met. So we were looking at each other, and he's like, we're going to build our own. I was like, great. Who is going to build it? And I'm looking right and I'm looking left because we're sitting with our team and masterminding. And I realized that there is nobody else that needs to build it or can build it. I was like, well, I don't know much about it, but I'm going to figure it out because I've been producing all of our events for all these years. So I was like, okay, I mean, how hard it can be. I'm just going to bring a lot of smart people and make them help me. And that's pretty much what happened. So I gathered a lot of high-end professionals in audio, video production, and event production itself. And we started dreaming and creating something super cool. So on one side, I'm a perfectionist and a visionary. So I wanted it to be as close to perfect as possible. I hate all the, every time you go to the production or event site, there are the cords everywhere. It's like, I call it spaghetti town. I don't want a spaghetti town. Like, no matter what you do, I do not want to see a single cord. And Krista, when you come to the studio, I want you to start looking for cords and see if you can find them.
I'm gonna get my magnifying glass out. But no, that thing is, how big is it? It is like, first of all, let me just explain for those that are listening. Okay, so you have to understand. She built this studio from scratch, had no, yes, she did events for years, but not like this. This place is like it's like you're in Disneyland for live events. Hi, Jimmy. Disneyland for live events with, like, if you even saw my studio, it's embarrassing compared to what yours is going to be. I have like some Yankee TVs that hung up, put some wires everywhere. Like, it's so bad, but it does me good enough, right? I have events every month. But I mean, it's so massive. How big is this thing?
So it's a 25,000 square foot facility. And just to give you perspective, when I got it, so first of all, I spent quite some time to find the location, because when you start thinking about it, you need a very specific pieces and components in that location, right? You need a high ceiling. You need to make sure that the columns have enough space so you can put the LED screens and stuff like that. So first of all, finding the space like that was not easy. And also finding it where you're not on the flight path, so you don't have the noise of the jets flying above you. That was not a simple solution. So I found a building finally, and it was pretty much exactly what I needed, what I wanted, and it was not finished. Because of COVID, they stopped building it. So the building did not have the doors. It did not have the demising wall because it's a 50,000 square foot building. So it was nothing in there. So in that short period of time, on top of building the whole high-tech studio, we had to build bathrooms in the office space and put the air conditioning and increase the power because LEDs eat up so much power. And the air conditioning, it's like normally you do not put the air conditioning on this such of a big space. It typically like the swamp coolers and stuff like that. And I don't want to get too technical and bore your audience, but it was not easy, right? It was a whole challenge on its own.
How long did it take you to do it?
Sorry? How long? I'm not going to repeat the number because it's insane. When I say that, a lot of people are like, oh, I can do that too. I dare you, right? I don't think I can do it again second time, but it was 70 days. So it was insane amount of time from the concept to creation.
No You
And
did not sleep, girl.
no, I did not. And everything is custom in there. Everything is custom because the LEDs are custom to fit a space, right? Everything is made pretty much made to measure. And one of the funny facts, I have over 35 miles of cables in that place. I bought pretty much every single piece of cable that the United States had at the time. And don't forget, that's a COVID, right? So we're talking about when everything
Yeah.
is shut down, when people are not working, where there are shortages left and right. So it was a pretty insane thing. And we got the certificate of occupancy the day before the show. So
Oh my gosh. How many TVs are there in the whole
there
thing?
there are no TVs. It's a
I mean, the
huge
LED screen.
LED. Yeah. So we have four large LED screens. Two of them are 74 feet long, 14 feet high. Two of those. So it's humongous. And
Oh
two
my gosh.
screens that are 24-foot long, 14 feet high. So it's a full 360. But and you know what's funny? A lot of people call me crazy, and I'm so used to this. I was like, yeah, it was like you don't want to be boring. But when I built it, because again, it was COVID, right? So there was no audience. You can't put people in there. So while I'm building for our first event, I'm already talking to my engineers. It's like, I want to strip that wall out because I want to have the audience. I want to put it on skates. And when we open up, I want to have the audience here. And they're looking at me as like, you are insane. I was like, yeah, that's fine. I like it. So we built a studio. We had our first event. We had 47,000 people at that event.
That's so awesome.
47,000. So it's super cool the way the technology works because we can create the interactivity because a lot of people say it's like, oh, Zoom fatigue, Zoom fatigue. Yeah, I get it. If you're just sitting there and watching for 3 days like this, somebody talking in front of you. But what we were able to create with the technology is the interactivity, right? So no matter how many people I have at the event, first of all, everybody has like a front row seat because
Yeah.
think about it. We went to see Mick Jagger at the concert, and we did it at the Raider Stadium. Beautiful new stadium. So some of our friends have the boxes. It's fun and cool to watch football in a box, but it's the most horrible place to watch the concert because you're so far out. You don't see the stage.
Yeah.
So we were sitting in the box thinking that we're cool. And the Mick Jagger is like this big on the stage. You cannot see him. We're still watching him on those huge LED screens that they put on stage. But the biggest thing is it's not just me not seeing a performer, but it's performer not seeing me as a fan, right?
Yes. So
They
true.
cannot look into my eyes. They will never know my name. They will never really see my reaction, my emotion, what their music or whatever their craft is, how it's inspiring the audience. So they will never really have that connection because the lights are dimmed, right? They all can see maybe like one or two rows in front of them, and that's it. And then they can hear the roar and the sound of the crowd, but they never really have the ability to build that connection. In the studio, you can look everybody in their eyes, and more so, you're looking in everybody's homes because people are sitting just like you and I in their
Yeah.
homes, on their couches, in their kitchens. Kids are running around. Cats and dogs are like crawling on top of them. So you looking into the person's life. You building a whole next level of a connection. And the ability for us to unmute anybody at any moment in time with no latency and have a conversation just like you and I are having and do it on the scale of hundreds of thousands. Right now, we can do 500,000 people. And if we need to scale, we can scale it more. We can stream it to millions and millions of people. One of our first clients was Dell Computers. They did the launch of one of their computers from our studio, and we streamed to 14 million people. So the ability to do anything that is either educational event or the product launch or a book launch or the market research, because you have immediate feedback right there and then. Do the concerts, comedy clubs, you name it. So pretty much anything you can possibly do, well, anything you can possibly dream about, we can do it. And because I'm an entrepreneur, I was already, while I was building it, I was trying to see like, okay, what are other implications? So on one side, I'm building it for myself to solve my problem, but
Yeah.
also who else can be using it for their needs and what those needs are. So having that amazing team who were much smarter than me and helping kind of like being the vision and them implementing some of those elements into the studio so we can fit all the different business models was a cool component. And I just bought a ticketing platform for it. So we pretty much A to Z platform. So you just come in, you just tell us what you need, what do you want. We're going to take your audience, love on them, engage them, bring them into the event, and do the post engagement if it's necessary. So the whole thing. So it's a lot of fun for me. And I know for a girl, I'm probably gigging too much on the tech. I just
Oh
love
no,
that.
I love it. Well, wow, that's insane. First of all, it's absolutely insane because I've seen it. I can't even believe you did that in 70 days. And I don't want to underestimate the beauty of it, because if you see this, I was just like, wow. Now I just have to ask you, if Tony Robbins comes to you now and says, can I use your studio? You got to charge him triple since he told you no. But good thing he told you no, because you wouldn't have built this massive, awesome thing that, if he would have let you have it. So it was actually a blessing in disguise.
It definitely, because and that's a great lesson, because oftentimes we think it's like because somebody rejects us, or somebody tells us no, you can't do it, or I'm not gonna help you, or I'm not gonna allow you to do whatever. It creates different, opens different doors, creates different opportunities. So for us, it was actually the greatest gift that Tony gave us, to do something, get out of our comfort zone, and build it something ourselves. But yeah, it was interesting. It was challenging for sure. It definitely, on one side, the biggest, we are, my husband and I, we both manufacturer of the new business that we have. But the biggest thing I got is the confidence in this girl, right? Is the belief in myself, what I'm capable of. And oftentimes when people doubt it and says like, who, what, she gonna do what? No way. And to me, it's
I would have
always,
said no way. I mean, my gosh, Marina, that is insane.
but it fires me up. So
Go look at WORRE Studios, and you'll see this thing. And as she's saying, it doesn't do it any justice, even though as amazing as it is in person. I'm sure I can't wait to see it next month. So how many people can actually fit in the audience directly?
So we were probably about 300, and we were able to expand it a little bit. So we can fit 400 people right now in the space, and pretty much unlimited virtual interactive. So like in the studio, without touching the cloud, I can host 250,000 people right now, which is pretty insane. But it's a lot of fun. We just filmed last month a big TV show that is happening right now on ABC network. So it's been interesting to see the implications of that, and what are different businesses, how they're using it. Then the event that you're going to in September, it's another way of using the studio. So it's a lot of fun. For me, it's like I'm like a kid in a sandbox. It's like I'm playing every single time.
You live in Las Vegas, right? You guys live there?
We live in Vegas, and the studio is in Vegas. Yeah.
Is in Vegas, yeah. So you're running that show, Marina. This has been awesome. I cannot. Hopefully, I get to meet you next month, maybe if you're around. But thank you so much. And I want to tell people where they can go to find more about you. I know. So listen, if you're not just network marketing or MLM, she's entrepreneurship, business ownership. This woman's a massive player in life when it comes to business and really supporting other people. So where can they? I know talk about your own podcast as well. Where can they find out about you, learn more about you, read your books?
I haven't wrote a book yet. I have to. I haven't launched my podcast yet, so I'm working on that.
I thought you did have a podcast. I was doing. Maybe you were on other.
I filmed several podcasts. I filmed several episodes, but I haven't launched them yet. So I'm kind of like building it up so I can do a big launch. Just Instagram probably is the best place to find me. It's Marina Worre, just my name, nothing else, with the green check mark, because apparently there are a lot of fake accounts. So the approved one, it's me. Yes. But I love to connect with everybody. I love to empower women and entrepreneurs in general, because I do believe that this world is a very abundant place that has enough of everything for everybody. Network marketing is an amazing entrepreneurial opportunity. And if you're in this business, I believe that you made a right choice. So congratulations. If you're still kind of like picking from the outside in, find something that inspires you, the products or the company or the leaders. If you put the network marketing will deliver on its promises if you deliver on your promises to it. If you work, it's network marketing for a reason. If you work on it, the opportunities that you're going to create for your family, for your future, for the time freedom, for financial freedom is amazing. But the biggest gift is who you're going to become in the process. If I did not start my entrepreneurial journey many, many years ago, if I did not go through failures and victories and challenges and obstacles, I would not be the woman you see today. So I'm absolutely grateful for the journey that led me here. And I'm super excited for the journey that is still in front of me. I'm a lifelong student, and I'm excited. So thank you so much for having me, Krista. It's been a great honor and pleasure.
Thank you for being here, Marina. This has been fun. Like, I'm just like I cannot wait to see your thing. Like, just now that I know everything even more, so it's going to be so special to see it and to celebrate in your success. So everyone, I hope you are just as fired up as I am. Marina Worre, go look her up, and I hope you're just as fired up as me, and I will see you next time.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, and congratulations on doing an amazing job yourself, Krista. Congrats, and I hope I'll see you when you come in Vegas.
I hope so too.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.